So the Ubisoft remake came out, but we got a little bit of a discourse that's happening with the some people love it, some people hate it, but there's some things up in the air that seems to be a little bit questionable, and I want to know what this is about. So it says right here, like, Black Flag's remake needs to die for games to live. Let it die. So I am interesting to see this argument from Kingard to see what's going on here. It was uploaded like 2 days ago, so let's take a look at it to see.
Ubisoft is right about one thing. When AAA gaming's looking its most bleak, bring out the pirates.
Aye, that be true.
Have you ever heard of the military principle of concentration of force? It's the idea that winning a battle doesn't come from fighting everything everywhere all at once. It comes from concentrating your efforts on one decisive target. In war, or more relevant to my real-world combat capabilities Age of Empires 2, spreading your resources too thin almost guarantees failure, no matter how ready your army is to die for their king. So today I want to propose something different. Strategery, one target.
Hello everyone. I'd like to say a few words about internal issues that have come to light recently. I am truly sorry.
If you saw the title and thumbnail and you're wondering why I'm singling out Ubisoft, why Black Flag Resync specifically when there's so many companies just as and maybe even more deserving of a boycott, well, there's a very specific reason I've chosen this game at this time to make this video. It's got nothing to do with the quality of this remake, whether or not it improves on the original in some ways, which I'm sure it does. Newer graphics, seamless docking, things the original doesn't have and doesn't need to still be a fantastic game, but whatever. Shiny object syndrome sells, go for it. Hey kid, you want to buy a 13-year-old game with less executions, more stupid microtransactions?
You can set enemies on fire with the brand new Hellion armor Ubisoft made for Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync.
What the fuck? Are you serious? What's the what? Why? What's the point of adding that?
You also get a glowing blue monkey.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would
That's
you do
interesting.
And unanimously everyone's favorite thing about single-player games? Weekly.
Oh my god, is that fucking Yasuke in fucking Black Flags? Yo, who the hell released Yasuke from Assassin's Creed Shadows into Black Flags? What in the... Okay. I wasn't expecting something like this, to be honest, but okay.
Weekly challenges and battle pass progression? Can't wait. While this unnecessary remake reeks of panicked desperation to remind us of what Ubisoft no longer is, following the conga line of Ubisoftistic failures over the last several years, it may surprise you that this video isn't even about all the usual grunts and gripes with modern Ubisoft games. No, instead, to try and persuade you why this game should fail, I'm going to be showing you the bigger picture. The very sinister yet very probable timeline that this game's success would help manifest, bringing to light just how nefarious, how aggressive Ubisoft is behind the scenes now.
But a lot of people already know that Ubisoft is nefarious, to be honest. Well, at least the people who know about, who are more into video games than the actual casual norm.
Fighting against your rights as a consumer. Tactics so snaky they'd make Haytham Kenway blush. How much worse gaming will look very soon if they win, all to the legal and financial benefit of Ubisoft. And the only chance we have to combat this is to whip out our Rosetta Stone and skip to the page for how to speak money. Let's get into it.
I'm curious, actually.
So why Ubisoft? Why this game? Well, let's zoom out first. Without exaggeration, the Stop Killing Games movement is becoming even more urgent with each passing week. Just in 2026 alone, we've seen several games people had bought that are effectively turned off.
Well, I don't know about fucking High Guard.
Removed from a storefront, somebody somewhere flipped a kill switch and now you can't play it. We all know Ubisoft did this with The Crew, and Yves Guillemot, sorry if I mispronounced, Ubisoft CEO, has staunchly defended it.
Support for old games cannot last forever.
And since then, with no repercussions, it's continued across the whole industry. In January, EA shut down Anthem, even though it would have been perfectly viable as an offline experience. Doesn't matter, it's gone. And more recently than that, in March, people who had bought Aliens Fireteam Elite on the Switch, which was a cloud-based version of the game, got this message. Thank you for playing our game. We sincerely appreciate your support. The game will be accessible until August 5th, 2026. After that, you will no longer be able to access the game. We apologize apologize to our loyal customers for any inconvenience this may cause, and we appreciate your understanding. We hope you will continue to enjoy our other game titles.
Let me also say this too as well. During the Nintendo Direct specifically, they said that people who bought Kingdom Hearts, the cloud version of Kingdom Hearts, will also not be able to access their game, which is a single player game. Let me remind you, okay? It's a single player game. And they said that you have to rebuy the game again because they made a physical version of it for you to buy. So you have to rebuy that game again, even though you've already bought it before. But unfortunately, they're gonna get rid of it. They're gonna literally take it away from you. So like at that point, you lose access to that specific digital game in general if you bought the Kingdom Hearts Cloud Edition, because they literally showed it on the Nintendo Direct. Nah, fuck them. Yeah, that's basically it's what it was. It was from the Nintendo Direct for that one. I mean, yeah, it's a cloud game. Yeah, but you know, all I have to say is like, you know, I don't know if people caught that or so on the Nintendo Direct, but yeah, so because they made basically like a physical version, they're just taking away the cloud version of it.
Doesn't this give you confidence to buy another game from them? Fireteam Elite 2, anyone? This is what a future of primarily cloud-based gaming looks like, by the way.
Well, this
Nah,
sucks.
fuck that. We have to
And it
change
didn't
cloud
stop there.
gaming. We
We've all
got the
seen the
fight
announcement
for
that
ownership.
PlayStation's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
discontinuing
That's what I'm saying specifically. So for those who don't know, now you do know, right? Because I paid attention or so during that Nintendo Direct, during the Kingdom Hearts thing. And it literally says it right there. They showed it literally on the Nintendo Direct. They showed that shit there. I was just kind of like, ah. I was like, that's wild to hear what I'm hearing right now, to be honest. And I caught that live or so, and I was just kind of like, damn, dude, that sucks for those people who actually bought the game, and now they don't own it anymore, to be honest.
Physical copies of new games by January 2028, and I'd like
It's
to
definitely
point
the
out that losing
DRM digital
physical
shit that you
games
have to start
actually
fighting,
isn't
you
the
know?
crux of the issue here. As I spoke on in the GTA 6 video,
Yeah, it's the DRM. It's the DRM you guys got to be fighting for, to be honest. Because if they can take away that specific, like that Nintendo Switch, the Alien one, and then also on top of that, they just recently announced that they're taking away the cloud Kingdom Hearts. If you bought it, you will not have access to it at the end of next year, and you have to buy the physical version of it.
video, it is a problem for people losing the ability to buy and trade used games, but technically speaking, when it comes to technical ownership, not much has changed.
Yep.
Discs have more or less become the illusion of ownership. If you buy a disc, you're still susceptible to access to your game being taken away from you if a publisher
That is very true. Yes, there are some games where you have to literally connect online or so to have access to them.
decides they want to take it away from you, as we saw with Ubisoft's The Crew, for example. Could you imagine pulling a game off your shelf like Gun, Jaws Unleashed, or Knights of the Old Republic, popping it in only to be greeted with a, "Sorry, please buy our new games instead"? And that's not me being facetious either, that's actually a goal of killing games, steering
Let me see. Competition from community support versions. Such a requirement could lead the community support version of games competing with official versions, potentially jeopardizing the financial investment of the video game companies. What the fuck? Are you serious?
players to buy new ones. Their words, not mine. Games from 20 years ago don't have this problem. It's just the newer ones that are supposedly more technologically advanced and have higher budgets that do. And we've been reminded
Inflated
why
budgets,
that's a
let me
big
remind
problem.
you.
What has now been spotlighted in Sony's case, a 3-year rule that if you don't sign into your PSN account regularly enough, your entire PlayStation account is susceptible to permanent deletion, including
Yeah, this shit pisses me off personally. I find this fucking pretty hella fucking annoying, dude. That's why they want to kill community servers. It's so stupid that they're trying to do that, to be honest. Just because, number one, your games have been shit. Anyways, you got inflated fucking development cost as well. It's not our fault that, you know, we're playing these games instead of the new ones, you know, because they cost more and they're just not that great, you know. Currently, only in the UK terms of service, presumably because the GDPR laws. However, laws do not force Sony to mandate PSN accounts, DRM, or phase out physical media. Note: Microsoft / Xbox does not delete UK accounts if any purchases have been made on it. Oh, So this is only happening in the UK? Only in the UK terms of service, presumptively. I'd be curious to see if this is actually only in the UK.
Every game you've ever bought, every DLC you've ever bought, all of your gaming progress, and any remaining funds in your PlayStation wallet. To those that might be asking, how could you go 3 years without gaming? They're asking the wrong question. The right question is, what benefit to the consumer does this provide? And the answer is none. And if this week's news is any indication, it's not just the benefits, it's the security that has about as much longevity as a wet napkin left outside. Xbox announced thousands of layoffs. This isn't a video to go into that whole announcement line by line, but I still want to use it to make this point. If the people on the other end of the screen are constantly in a state of emergency and vulnerability, why would we ever trust them to safekeep our access to the games that we buy long term?
We're leaving.
I don't care if it's a bookshelf. If
Well,
it
you
has
never
more
trust
security
companies
than
anyways
a
to begin
multi-billion-dollar
with.
company, I'm choosing the bookshelf. But now that the stage is set, let's bring it back into Ubisoft. Why them? Well, boycotting an entire industry might sound wonderful, but we know that's just not realistic.
True.
And with Black Flag coming out this week from the company nestled the deepest within the Stop Killing Games controversy, boy do we have the best target we could ever ask for. If not Black Flag Resynced, then which game would be better? We already know Ubisoft shutting down The Crew was the straw that broke the camel's back for Stop Killing Games to take off, but what else has Ubisoft done since then? Eves and Co. have defended Ubisoft from multiple class actions in which they've insisted you don't own the games you buy, one in the US and one in France. But that's just saving their own skin. Look at what they've done with the rest of the industry. I want to direct you to two different organizations
ESA.
Ubisoft is a part of, the Entertainment Software Association, or ESA, and Video Games Europe. On screen, you will see their members, which include a swath of the largest companies in gaming. Yes, there are many more than just Ubisoft, but I promise we're getting there. Both of these groups have aggressively opposed Stop Killing Games, not just with public statements, but also with lobbying, meaning privately persuading lawmakers to take their side on an issue that's up for debate. Hypothetically, that could mean money.
Now that's power you can't buy.
Or it could mean verified, confirmed, closed, invite-only meetings with the very governing bodies who are supposed to be unbiased for the people.
But the industry has had at least 3 times more meetings with the Commission on this than we have. They've had another meeting with lobby group Video Games Europe, which was invite-only and private. So unlike our Parliament hearing, there's no public record of it. In other words, it was a meeting about consumer policy in video games where nobody representing consumers was invited.
Would you like to guess who was present for the closed invite-only meeting between Video Games Europe and the European Parliament Committee?
Hello, everyone.
Interesting.
I am truly sorry.
And 2 weeks later, the committee voted they would refuse to
So
recommend
Stop Killing Games failed to secure EU law despite 1.3 million signatures. Damn, dude. Jesus Christ.
any legislation to Parliament for discussion. Shocker.
The person that caused this, the CEO of Ubisoft, was at that meeting. 6 hours long talk to them. How normal is this?
This happens regularly, I would say. In the EU, you can say that the people with the deepest pockets also are the loudest voices.
Another strat.
That's fucking retarded in my personal opinion. There's another reason why I'm skipping the AC Black Flags. Okay, I can definitely see why, to be honest. I can see why. I can, you know.
Making sure games don't stay in your library is slandering the goals and motivations of the movement in an attempt to discredit it.
Sounds like a communist to me!
If you've ever heard of the term straw manning, it's when you intentionally exaggerate or misappropriate somebody else's argument to make it easier to, well, argue against it. For example, if you say recent Call of Duty games feel tired and uninspired, and another commenter says you just hate it because you're bad, they just strawmanned you. No, I've never received a comment like that before. Why do you ask? The way ESA and Video Games Europe have strawmanned the Stop Killing Games movement is by altering the stance from we want a version of the game to play even after official support stops to we want official support forever. This is not conjecture. This is in writing that they've done this on several occasions. When discussing the proposed California Protect Our Games Act, the Entertainment Software Association argued to the Senate committee that private servers for games like Minecraft or Call of Duty are actually illegal, a black market for gaming, and considered piracy.
What the fuck? Are you serious? That's fucking wild to say piracy.
Minecraft is currently hosted by community servers, Call of Duty community servers. So it's an option that is out there in existence here today.
They're illegal
and they are not in any way affiliated with Microsoft.
So is it like the black market of video games?
Yes, in fact.
I am so tired of fucking middle-aged, old-ass fucking people being in fucking government official positions and telling video gamers who have been playing video games for such a long time what the fuck to do with their own fucking products, bro. I am so fucking sick and tired of these like fucking uncles and hags, the worst hags, all these old ass people who don't play video games, don't know nothing about the medium whatsoever, spitting nonsense to people who've actually been in the gaming community for such a long time, dude. I swear to God, I am so tired of these fat fucking like old ass people being here, these middle-aged people in here telling us what the fuck to do. Dude, I'm so pissed, dude. I'm actually so fucking annoyed, to be frankly honest. Holy shit, dude. This is wild to hear, dude. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I don't know, man. I am so fucking annoyed, in my personal opinion.
We consider it piracy.
As in, the how-to instructions publicly available on Minecraft's website for how to set up a private server. Yeah, it's a black market. Very.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or so I'm like, because I know for a fact you can set up your own server, and it's literally from the Mojang website themselves for Minecraft in general. So I'm just like, so you're just like. So you're just outing yourself out or something? Like, what are we talking about here, you know?
Legal.
What have I done?
Although Protect Our Games passed the state assembly with flying colors, actually, the Senate committee tossed it with 4 votes yes, 3 votes no, and 3 abstains. However, the ESA did kindly backpedal on these statements after the vote was done. How generous. Which brings us to today, and while Ross of Accursed Farms and the Stop Killing Games reps keep giving us updates, we now have the opportunity to also make an impact on this thing.
No, guys. We, especially you, didn't lose against the commission because you have the power of calling them out on it and making them super famous, because now McGrath and Virkunen pissed off over 1 million of people. You have the opportunity for public pressure and public accountability when you demanded something, and this is what you got.
This new opportunity has presented itself to us in the form of Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Jeez. Which launches this week. While Ubisoft isn't uniquely guilty, they are uniquely symbolic of this entire issue. They're the most publicized catalyst of Stop Killing Games. They're at the center of the opposition to Stop Killing Games. They're also the most vulnerable of the opposition to Stop Killing Games. And
I'm surprised they even have deep, because you know when they said it, right? The deepest pockets are the most loudest ones. I'm surprised this fucking Ubisoft CEO even has any money to have a deep ass pocket. I'm like, isn't your fucking company in the shitters already? Brother, what are you doing, bro? God, you ain't got no deep pockets, man. That's all I gotta say. You maybe got some lint in there, but that's about it.
Have what's supposed to be a financial layup of a game coming out right now. Like with AC Shadows, Ubisoft literally needs this game to succeed. The fact they're even making Black Flag Resync supports this. It's the lowest hanging fruit.
No, to be honest, they're the only reason why they're remaking this is because all the other Assassin's Creed games have not been doing very well, to be frankly honest. Actually, to be honest, the entire company has not been doing very well, so they needed to bring back an old game to remaster, because holy shit, dude. If we lose Stop Killing Games, we have no hope to battle against DRM. Yeah, like we need either like a foot in the door in order for us to be able to push in through. Because at the end of the day, you know, Sony did take away all those movies at the end of the day. I'm like, they can easily just take away your shit like this, you know, without batting an eye. Do you want to lose like your digital shit for like that you bought with your own money? You know, it should be like, you know, it should be on your account, you know? Like, even if it's not available in the store anymore, as long as it's available on your account, you can download it whenever you want to. That's how I am personally. And one thing about this game, the new quests that added to this game that weren't exist in the original Black Flag sucks. Oh yeah, I heard mixed feelings about it.
The easiest game to make for the biggest IP they have, with an already baked in love of the original set to bolster their sales. And it might just work. Not too dissimilar to the way Halo is remaking Combat Evolved right now. And that's really why I'm making this video. Not because I think skipping one remake is gonna bankrupt Ubisoft. It won't. Not because I think Eves is gonna wake up the next morning and suddenly support Stop Killing Games. He absolutely won't. And not because Ubisoft is somehow uniquely evil in this situation. They're not. I'm making this video because everyone agrees that companies only listen when money is involved. We hear the phrases all the time. Vote with your wallet, money talks. And it works, just ask Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, Xbox, and PlayStation. Ubisoft decided to do this remake because they know nostalgia for the original has more hope to push sales than confidence in the current state of their company does. And they're right about that. So if Ubisoft still sees what should be an easy win underperform, and the message online is that gamers are willing to pass on an updated version of a game they love because they support consumer rights more, it's not about your money, it's about sending a message.
Everything burns.
Not asking anyone to fly to European Parliament, just don't buy a game. That's it. 10 years from now, we're gonna live with whatever gaming becomes. So if we truly believe that publishers only understand financial pressure, that we won't let them get away with getting one over on us just because they're good at jingling keys,
it's not a remake.
Now is the opportunity to prove that we mean it. If Black Flag Resynced launches to disappointing sales, Ubisoft will still survive, probably thanks to Daddy Tencent. Limping, crawling, and bleeding from every orifice in the dirt at this point, but still alive. And I'm not asking you to hate Black Flag, I'm not asking you to hate the Assassin's Creed series, I'm just asking what matters to us more. Paying for a redo of a game that came before, or our ability to own the games that come next? Because this is about something much bigger than just one game, and that would be the relationship we get to have with the games that we pay for. But hey, if this doesn't pan out and the game is successful anyway, if you want to see what happens when a company is not successful and does a hard pivot from everything they stood for just a few months ago, click right here. Thank you channel members and patrons. As always, thank you all for watching. Carry on, you kings.
That's crazy. That's very interesting. So they've been a little bit of sliminess behind the scenes or so, and the reason why they're making this game, huh? Well, that too as well, and plus also their company has been going down to the shitter, so that's probably the reason why they decided to remake the Black Flags, but also been trying to, you know, get that Stop Killing Games to stop working, you know. That's interesting. So Ubisoft is being a little bit of a rat, you know, being a slight little ratness, huh? Interesting. Little weasel, huh? All right, I see what you guys did there. I see what you guys did. But you know what? I'll pick it up when it's on sale then. How about that? When you drop it down so ridiculously low. So, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe to all that fancy jazzy stuff. Interesting. That's a very interesting perspective point of view. The only reason why I bought the remake is, one, it's legit good. Two, I asked for it years ago. Yeah, but you asked for it years ago. You didn't ask for it now, though. So, see, I caught you there. I caught you there. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And honestly, little weasels. They're a little bit weaseling over there. And peace.